Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Dos Cavazos here. I'm Anthony.
I'm Casey.
And today we're watching episode 4 of Tiger King. So, very crazy show so far. A lot of outlandish things that have happened so far. A lot of eccentric people we've been introduced to say the least. But yeah, I'm very excited to get back in here and see how the story ends up progressing. Because it's kind of hard to envision it getting much crazier at this point.
At the end of the day, the crazy thing is that this is a documentary. But I mean, I guess I take that with a grain of salt because anybody can put anything in a documentary, or it's easy to edit things to make them seem a certain way. So when we react to this, we're just reacting to what we have in front of us in this documentary. I don't want to say we don't have all the answers, but I mean, we just have what's presented here. But from what we have here, obviously they all just seem a little bit crazy, honestly, in their own ways. So
I feel like last episode we got to focus a lot more on Carol Baskins. We got to see, I guess, the underlying theory of what may have happened to her late husband, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, because you can't say that she did it because there was no evidence. Regardless if someone does something or not, they were never proven guilty is what I'm trying to say. Well, so it's not proven.
No, beyond that too, I just honestly felt like there was little investigation that was done. They kind of mentioned in the previous episode too that her brother worked for the police in that particular area too. So, one might, that might spark a few red flags in my opinion, but it's just crazy to me that not more research was done when her late husband possibly went missing.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he's still never technically
he was been declared dead.
But they never found the body or anything, So it's what if wouldn't it be crazy if he just got found one day, in Costa Rica or something?
He can corroborate this story.
So it seems like the episodes, are kind of geared to their they each have a point that they're trying to make. The last one was very Carol centered. I wonder what this next one's going to be about, if we're going to go on to someone else, maybe back to Joe, because I feel like we haven't really heard much about him lately.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you can stay notified for all of our future videos. Also, we do have full-length reactions, bloopers, exclusive shows, things like that over on our Patreon. We also do early releases for a lot of our videos, etc. And the link is down below in the description.
Me and Carol made money off of each other. We became popular off of each other because I was her #1 most wanted cub abuser that she could make money off of, and she was my #1 murdered her husband, fed to the tigers and crazy bitch out there.
Do you know the power you have if you search Google around the world and you're the first choice every time?
Mm-hmm. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
She is the one. She's the first choice every time. Supersedes all the zoos. She's at the top of all search.
Well, you can pay, though, to be ranked higher.
Joe started realizing if he made his name close to the Big Cat Rescue, when they Google it, it might pull him up first.
Joe decided that the way he would get back at us was to rename his traveling show Big Cat Rescue Entertainment.
That's pretty close, though.
Notice that the entertainment...
Come on, you could change it up a little bit more than that.
That's
Come on.
Close.
He signed a contract. I'll let you shoot a reality show if you'll go ahead and run my studio.
Interesting. So they have to run his little internet show.
There was something so odd about the man, and yet he had so much confidence because he owned the world in his head.
You're gonna make here, okay?
What the fuck? This dude's got his shoes. I mean, if that wasn't already evident.
A little too close.
Yeah.
He wanted to be famous more than he
is now.
Man, when he saw that footage, he went wild. He's like, I am the Tiger King. I've always been the Tiger King. Sitting there playing the shot over and over of him in his throne. Joe's ego was so big.
Can you give me my whip?
Give me my
Way
whip.
too big for his little body. He would have done anything to become famous.
Know why Carol Baskin better never, ever, ever see me face to face, ever, ever, ever again.
We all tried to tell him, knock it off, stupid. You know, all you're doing is asking for a battle that you don't,
like
even if you do
that's
win, it's still going to cost so much time, so much money, so much everything. Just bow down and tell her to go fuck herself and walk the fuck out. No.
I like how he said it. Tell her to go fuck herself and walk the fuck out.
I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but I'm glad I was here.
And then the rabbit picture showed up on Facebook.
Rabbit picture.
This is what I got sued over. Does that look happy?
Are you familiar with one of your videos that you titled...
Why were they doing that? Like, what was the purpose of the rabbit?
Grinning from ear to ear because their favorite cat's finally getting a rabbit, and yet that has been twisted into us being these horrific monsters that would get pleasure out of hurting a rabbit.
Well, what'd you do?
I posted it all over Facebook. This wasn't her photo either. After I posted it, she paid $5 for the person that took this photo. And then 3 months later, she copyrighted it, and then she sued me.
The one lawsuit was about the rabbit photo, and the other lawsuit was about a bunch of photos where he would take a picture of Carol and take her head and put it on the body of a man in a diaper. Here's this picture of this gooey thing.
Oh, I remember that
says,
picture.
Smile, everyone. Life could be worse. You could have a crotch like Carol does.
Oh my gosh.
Just slaughtered a horse, and this is the horse's penis. And it says, "Hey Howard, suck my Captain Morgan, LOL." And that was my recollection.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
The judge announced that she was granting our motion, and his counterclaims were going away.
An Oklahoma man who goes by the name Joe Exotic has agreed to pay a Florida animal sanctuary nearly $1 million to resolve a trademark infringement lawsuit.
I was surprised that she was actually trying to collect payment. Who has the millions to spend that amount of time in court? She did.
She'll never get $1 million out of me. I don't own anything.
She wanted everything in assets, from vehicles to four-wheelers to...
Oh my gosh, DVD player.
Everything.
She will never shut this mouth up, all right? Until the day I see her ass in prison. My watch?
Any of the assets that Carol wanted his lawsuit, he would take out there and blow it up with tannerite.
They tell me you want my goddamn bed, too.
Get him, it'd just be a pile of crap.
But didn't he technically owe her those assets though?
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing though, is that like he just freaking blew it up because of it.
That's not good.
I've been living here on the zoo and living and working, and I'm here at the zoo 24/7. I'm just tired, very tired.
He's like, I'm tired of all this
24/7 with Joe
craziness.
Exotic. Oh shit. Whose place is this?
Yeah, I got woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Rinky came in, and these motherfuckers had blown up our the studio because the blast was so big that it blew the doors open.
I hope the tigers were okay.
I think it was his filming studio.
Yeah, but I hope no one were around it.
That building where the alligators were kept, as well as a studio that Joe had. It was clearly an arson. It was a set fire.
They were in there?
It had burned so hot, there was nothing left. I dropped to my knees and I cried. I cried because all of our footage was in that studio, and I haven't backed up anything outside the studio.
For somebody to burn down the alligator house, they gotta be a pretty sick person.
Yeah? Burn alligators alive?
Burn anything alive.
If you have a problem with me, take it up with me, like a man. Don't burn live, innocent animals to get your fucking point across. We're offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and the conviction of either this suspect or the people that were involved. If it is tied to any animal rights organization, we are going to double that reward. Carol Baskin, crawl this fence and try and hurt any of my animals again, you can guarantee I'm gonna put a cap in your ass the first time to make you squirm around on the ground, and then I'm gonna put a bullet right between your fucking eyes.
She offered who $20,000?
My producer.
To do what?
To get all the footage and set fire to my studio.
I had sent Rick Kirkham a Facebook message, and I said, I think you probably don't know about the person that you're working for.
And we never made him any kind of offer or asked him for anything.
I swear that's Rick Kirkman walking in front of the video that morning that it burnt down.
I was like in shock. I was like, you out of your fucking mind? It's like, that's my retirement that just burned, okay? I got everything invested in that project that no longer exists. I was the one person Joe feared the most because I was shooting everything in his personal life.
What? This is just...
Yeah, I don't even know who to believe at this point.
I don't know. I'd like no...
Rinky doing veterinarian work.
Anyone could have
without
done
a
it.
veterinarian. We had cameras on everybody every minute of the day.
So where's all
He
this
could have sold
footage
it to
from?
Carol.
Scenario was thrown at me. Do you think it could have been Joe? When that happened, out of town or for a funeral?
But I also feel like that would have been the reason why somebody else would have done it too, knowing that he was out of town.
I have no idea who to believe.
I showed it to him. I said, Joe, when I came here, not only do I own all of the reality footage, I own all of your internet footage from the time I came here that I produced.
If they've got it filmed, what do they need you for?
He blew up so bad when I showed him that contract. He was like, you don't own me. I said, Joe, actually, I do right now. I do own this show. I do own it.
Where is the film?
In my recording studio.
And they don't have copies of it or anything?
No.
You see what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll find somebody that needs 10 grand to make a name for themselves.
What?
I kind of think he did it.
After the studio burned, whether he destroyed it or not, it was gone. I remember walking over and handing the camera to Rinky, and I just said, I'm out of here, man. And he said, yeah, you might as well go on home. I got my dog. I got my truck. I left everything I owned, and I drove, and I left and went back to Dallas. I was told by Joe and by Rinky, if you step foot on the park again, we'll have you arrested for trespassing.
Shit.
This fire happened about the time Joe had a judgment placed on him from a lady in Florida. Some of the items within this fire were going to be under subpoena.
That building contained computers that held information that we were seeking.
Joe kept thinking if he changed the name, it would just derail him and derail him. Well, it didn't. They just moved.
So everybody that had been involved all got drug into court.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
She sues my mom for illegal transfer of assets. Okay, and mom dumps hundreds of thousands of dollars defending herself.
Carol Baskin down in Florida is behind a lot of this because she's been harassing us right along with Joe for years.
We basically had a deal.
Me and Howard came to an agreement, and then he got Carol on the phone. He wanted my mom and dad's house as collateral.
Why?
That was a deal breaker.
Okay.
Jeff Lowe came onto the scene sometime in 2015.
My introduction to Jeff Lowe was, hey, Saf, this is our new investor.
They like to have sex with other women at the same time. And they use the tigers to entice them in. Who doesn't want to play with a baby tiger?
What is people's obsession with tigers?
Beautiful woman to get her picture with a cute little dangerous animal. It's like, oh, she's got a little spunk in her too.
Little pussy gets you a lot of pussy. There you go.
Yeah.
He put tiger cubs into a Louis Vuitton bag. He rolled them through the casino, up into the suites, and then brought people up to have playtimes with them and party with them.
They thought that they had Joe against the ropes because he was broke. Joe offered to pay them $5,000 a month. They said, well, that isn't good enough. She says, we want $5,000 a month, and you're gonna stop breeding, and you're gonna stop cub petting. And Joe says, well, how do you think I can make the $5,000 a month?
So this is all just a waste of time. That settlement agreement is so far from acceptable.
Whoa. Who's speaking, please?
Jeff Lowe.
We need you to get off the call.
You know what? When I woke up this morning, I was in a free fucking country. And I'm still there.
Look at Joe's face.
Howard, fuck yourself and fuck your cunt wife.
He's all happy about it.
With Jeff Lowe coming into Joe believed that if he
This
just
is wild.
convinced us that he had endless resources to keep the lawsuit going, we would suddenly fold our tent and go away, which of course we were not.
He owed $40,000 or $50,000 to attorneys.
And they said, we'll make it 35 if you can pay that. So Jeff got a cashier's check for $35,000. And then my lawyers recommended that we just dissolve the Gerald Wayne Interactive Zoo Company and let Jeff open one in his name so Carol would have to start the lawsuits all over again. So that's what we did.
So he took over the zoo.
What do you know about Jeff Lowe? Like what?
Only allegedly, not my business.
I know and tell on camera what's wrong with Jeff. That's so that one day
What
this
is-
becomes a lawsuit.
What does he know about him?
I thought I could trust him. And oh my God, shit hit the fan. I didn't know that that mansion was rented. I didn't know that he was behind on Ferrari payments. And as soon as he got the zoo in his name,
Checks
the
are to
evil side
bounce.
of Jeff and Lauren came out.
Oh fuck.
Jeff Lowe stole the zoo.
Who is this
Yeah.
new character? Not even a character.
Who's this new person that we were introduced to? All right, so Jeff Lowe. Okay, so when we got introduced to this person, I didn't necessarily believe him. I thought he was kind of a little full of shit because I don't know. He just didn't look the part. I don't know if like this.
Suave.
Yeah, you know, to have a mansion and drive a Ferrari and the Hummer and like a jet, and I was like, something seems fishy here. But I mean, he was like just money, 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 and then obviously now he's kind of screwed over.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when they were talking about the tiger cubs, he said like, oh, he would use the tiger cubs like to get people to do the stuff,
Yeah.
and he would get stuff for free, and like things like he would just get whatever. And I was like, if you have that much money, why do you need to get stuff for free? Like you. I mean, it's sad to say, but like money can buy girls and stuff like that too. Like you don't need a tiger cub to get you all that stuff if you have a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So I was like, why do you need all that if you have all this money? But I guess didn't. I mean, we don't even know yet. That like set us up for the next episode.
Yeah, no. Now we gotta find out about this person. Like we gotta find out more backstory.
Yeah.
Just when I thought like the story was getting crazier, like you know, it's funny when Don wouldn't say anything. I was just
know,
like,
he said like,
yeah, I was like, I thought you know he was a little eccentric too. So I was like, who the hell is this person?
I know, and he like Don had said stuff about Carol before. Like he wasn't afraid to talk about her.
I know he's like, do you see the music video? He's
Yeah,
like,
but like I guess I don't know. It's a little freaky.
I don't know who was responsible for burning down, you know, the studio where the alligators were also kept too, but fuck, like that is so fucked up. And you know, it's trying to show you or at least allude to the fact that it was possibly Joe, but you know, early it was kind of like going back and forth. Like
Honestly,
I was like, was it the producer?
Yeah,
Was
I
it
don't
Carol?
know.
Like
Because it's like they never have like when you never have proof, it's just like all like he said, she said. It's like you never know.
I
mean,
will
I
say
don't
though,
know.
that audio with him and his lawyer was
Yeah.
really fucking sketch. Like that was really sketch.
I mean, I guess they still never.
And then I also feel so bad for Joe's parents. Like you could tell, like they were just so taken advantage of in this situation, and like
by everyone,
like
honestly.
in that video too. Well, the Carol thing, like, well, so yeah, we have two people here that are just like feuding and just are relentless and refuse to give up. And you know, they both have their differences of opinions. I won't get into all of that. Joe's parents got went after by Carol, but then also too, Joe's probably like what the niece said was like just getting papers put in front of their faces. He was giving them money and probably helping them out because he was probably telling his parents like, oh, this woman is out to get me, but he probably didn't honestly tell them every aspect about what was really going on there. I would imagine.
And he's their son, and you could tell that they were proud of him. So it's
Yeah.
like most people would do anything to help their kids. So
Yeah, I felt so bad when his mom was sitting there, like you know, that Carol wanted to like have a zoo that was better than his, and I was just like, oh, I just felt like bad for her, and you know, she doesn't know the full story. So it was really, really sad. But man, when you think that it can't fucking get crazier, they throw another little element in here, and now this one is Jeff.
I just hope those animals got fed, like at the end of the day, those poor animals, because they like didn't have enough food for all of them, and they had like all these animals, and it's just like if you're gonna have them, you have to be able to take care of them and feed them, and I guess that's why he did get so desperate. But
I want to know too, like what became of the zoo after Jeff apparently took it over.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what the next episode's probably gonna cover. But I'd be really interested in there too, because if he didn't have the money to be able to feed these animals, then what the hell happened to them? Like. A lot of questions, a lot of answers, a lot of mayhem, as the title of the show suggests. But if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can stay notified for all of our future videos.
And also make sure to check out our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.